What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys having an absolutely fantastic kick butt day today so far. So guys, I'm very excited for today's video because we finally have the map making contest winner selected and ready to be presented in today's video. Oh baby, does that feel good to say, because guys, this project was very daunting. I gotta roll up my sleeves for this one. This took hours upon hours of reviewing all your submitted maps. There were thousands of them, guys. It was absolutely insane, but we found 10 hidden gems amongst all of them, which you guys are going to be seeing here very shortly. Also, I do want to stress that if you end up winning the contest today, it doesn't mean that you're 100% certain getting your map implemented inside of Brawl Stars. It has to go through like a screening process. So the dev team will review the maps that won the contest, and then they'll make minor changes to the ones that they really like if need be, and then implement them into the game, as well as they'll probably scrap a few of them. So only a handful of them are actually going to make it through the final process to get implemented inside of Brawl Stars. 10 maps for one major update is a little bit too much, so it's probably going to be rounded off to like 4 or 5 of them. We'll have to see which ones they really enjoy. But you'll be getting the maple barley skin no matter what, so that is really cool. But guys, without any further ado, let's get into the 10 winners today and review them. I want to tell you guys why I like them so much. So here we go. Let's hop into it. Okay guys, so let's hop straight away into the winners. Now, I'm going to be starting off with Siege and then just rolling down the list until we get all 10 winners announced and called for. Now, I also want to go into why I ended up selecting the map and why I feel like it's going to be a really great pick for the Brawl Stars meta in general. So, starting off with the very first one, we have Mr. Lee's submission. It's called Jump Catastrophes. And I gotta tell you, this caught my eye right away. Spring traps, I don't know how I feel particularly about them, but they can make for some really fun gameplay. Now, the reason I picked this one right off the get-go is because I feel like right now Siege is a competitive players trophy pushing game mode. Not a lot of casual players like to play Siege, and I know it because everyone's super afraid to get into it and lose 12 trophies. Who wants to do that? Especially if you don't have a solidified team comp, things along those lines. It never goes off very well. You can lose hundreds of trophies very quickly if you're not careful in the game mode. So in this game mode, I find it to be a lot more amusing. You have the jump pads, you have a lot of action, you have people who can play aggros on the left side, as well as your medium range tankier units in the middle. I find it to be a really fun map, and I could see myself playing on this map and just enjoying the crap out of it. Not a really good map for the long-range shooters, I feel like, with those fenced-off walls. The aggro brawlers probably playing to the outside, like we said before, but the longer range, like Pipers and stuff like that, wouldn't fit on that, and we might be seeing that in the next Siege map. So guys, Mr. Lee, the very first winner on Jump Catastrophes. Love this map. Okay, so moving on to the next winner, submitted by Gaming Warehouse Brawl Stars, we have Open Fields. Now, I fell in love with this map instantly. I feel like a lot of the Siege maps in the game are kind of redundant with how much walls they have placed in the middle. You know that Barleys and the Lobbers are going to be fantastic on those maps, like your tankier units, like Rosa. I feel like the Siege meta is very cut and dry, so it's my hopes that we have a little bit more of these maps being implemented into the game where it's a little bit wide open. We have solidified lanes, and in those lanes, it's kind of a long range map. So we have the longer range units that are going to be doing pretty dang good on this map. So your Pipers, your Brocks, maybe a Penny in there, maybe some Ricos or Colts. I want to see a fun Brawl Stars meta Siege map, and I feel like this is a perfect one. It's a very simple map. It aids the longer range, like I said before, as well as we could see some aggro brawlers on those side panels with all those bushes where they can sneak up on the enemy unit, but they have to be careful still. So I love this map, guys. I feel like this would be a great addition to Siege. I feel like we only have one other Siege map that is good for the long range units, so I think this is necessary to be implemented inside the game. Hopefully, we'll have to see. Next, moving on to Brawl Ball, and the very first map that I ended up selecting was by Faithfullah. Hopefully I said that right, and the map is called Until the End. Now, the very first thing that caught my eye about this map is how simple it is and how well designed it is. Everything is spaced out properly. There's not any one-tile gaps, which is a very big turnoff. You can't have one-tile gaps anywhere, and I feel like it's just kind of a balanced, simple Brawl Ball map. I like the bushes right in the front. We might be able to see some wall-peeking Pipers being played. You never know. Maybe if Piper gets a buff in the next balance change, we might be able to see that. I feel like some of the most recent Brawl Ball maps that have been implemented inside the game, they're very bush heavy. Like right in the middle, there's a lot of bushes where tankier units and shotgunners are all tangling and it's very hectic and stuff like that. I like maps that are a little wide open. It's been a while since we've seen a map like this implemented in the game, and I feel like it would kind of switch up the team comps if this is a map that's kind of out in rotation quite regularly. Moving on to the next winning Brawl Ball map, and it was submitted by Chief Pekka, and it's called Hidden Valley. Now this map really spoke to me right off the get-go because I feel like in Brawl Ball it follows this specific template, especially towards the goal area, and this is very different compared to that. It doesn't look very different right off the get-go. When you see it, it's kind of like a normal Brawl Ball map, but if you direct your attention towards the goal area, on every single Brawl Ball map, or close to every single one, there's a 5-tile wide wall right in front of the goal, where this is a little bit different. It doesn't make it any easier to score because you only have a 3-tile wide cube where you can push it in, and you have those walls blocking it off, where you have to go around in some circumstances. So it's a little bit different and should still be just as difficult. But some of the team comps that are rolling through my mind on this map is something that can just muscle their way through that 3-tile wide area, where the only way you're going to be able to get it through there is by brute force, as well as other brawlers that I feel like would be fantastic on this map. Of course, your boy Mortis, I think he would be fantastic here. Maybe a little redemption arc for him inside of the game mode Brawl Ball that he was stripped away from. So this map, really like it a lot. Transitioning into the next 3v3 game mode, we're going to be doing Heist next, and the very first winner is Thomas Pullen, and his map is called Slip and Slide. Now, whenever it comes to water inside Brawl Stars on maps competitively, I feel like it always gets a little bit goofy. People find like bugs in it where you kick the ball on a body of water inside a Brawl Ball and it like lingers there and stuff like that. But I feel like the one game mode where it kind of works is Heist, and that's because with certain brawlers like the Daryl roll, you can use that to your advantage. Roll the heck up there and cover some ground really quickly. I find water on Heist to be awesome. I find it very fun, hyper, really aggressive, fast matches. And another thing that really stood out to me is the solidified lanes. You have a lane on the left as well as a lane on the right, and then one straight down the middle. So you have like your Piper in the middle maybe, and then maybe your aggros on the right. I do have to note that I'm sure this map is going to need a little bit of reworking, maybe taking away some of the bodies of water, just because the lanes on the left and right are a little bit small. They're getting close to that like 2-tile, close to that 1-tile, where if you get like a Piper in the right lane, your bullet's going to be very difficult to dodge that Piper shots. But I like those bushes at the top as well as at the bottom. You might not know where a camping bull will be trying to get to the safe. I find it very interesting, and I feel like the meta surrounding this map would be really fun. The next Heist map that ended up winning was submitted by Go Away, and the map name is called Arachnophobia. I get the name. It kind of looks sort of like a spider. Not sure I'm digging the desert theme, but I can see it being like the green grass and stuff like that. But we're taking a look at the map and what team comps and stuff like that, how it's going to fit into Brawl Stars first, not the appearance. So on this map, you have 3 specific lanes. The one big thick one right down the middle, as well as the thinner ones on the right and the left. And the stuff that's going through my mind on this map is how cool and accessible it is to move to the right lane and help out your opponents duking it out in the right lane. So you might be your, maybe like a Brock chilling in the middle, and you could go to the right lane and help out maybe your Rico as taking on a bull up there. It's very accessible. You can move around the map very nicely. And the team comps, I really enjoy maps that they're, it's allowing diversity on the map, right? So we have bulls being able to play. We can fit primos in there because there's a lot of bushes to sneak around in up the right and the left lane, but we also have areas for your lobbers to dominate on, as well as your long range units like Brock and Piper and stuff like that. I do have to say that Heist maps do a really great job at accommodating both ends of the spectrum, like right, your close range or medium range brawlers as well as your long range brawlers, especially some of the maps that were just recently implemented inside of Brawl Stars. You have a very diverse meta in Heist, but I want that to continue. I want to have maps where Pipers can reign supreme and your Brocks reign supreme. So I really like this map. It's really good. Moving on to the next game mode, and that is Gem Grab. So the very first map that ended up winning was by Mylene Reba. So he or she submitted a map called Festive Spark. And the reason I ended up picking this map is I feel like it's an overall very balanced gem grab map. You have your aggros being able to do work on this map, like your mortises and stuff like that, being able to get to the enemy spawn fairly easy with all the bushes as well as walls. Lobbers can do really good on this map. Basically all your gem carriers can do good on this map as well. Whenever I'm looking at like a gem grab map or maps in general inside of Brawl Stars, I never like it when it's strict to like one specific team comp or like one specific type of brawler. A perfect example is like Snake Prairie. I never play on Snake Prairie. I don't hate the map whatsoever. It's a fun map, but I don't like how it's like you need to have like 3 or 4 specific brawlers to be successful on that map. As for the next gem grab map and the final winner of this game mode, we have a map submitted by Lu Kim Hung. Hopefully I said that right, and his map is called Crystal Corridors. Now this map is really, really fun. Now one of the things that really stood out to me that I enjoy a lot about this map is the walls closest to the gem grab mine to the bottom left, as well as the top right. The bushes facing the gem grab mine. I find this to be really, really interesting. I feel like we don't see this a whole lot, where you always have like this L shape or a wall protecting bushes so you can hide behind them, and then the walls facing the gem grab mine. Here the bushes are like opened up to the center mine, so I find that really, really interesting. It's kind of like a new element inside the game. I'm sure there's some gem grab maps that have that inside the game, but I really, really like it, where you might have like a camping primo waiting for the gem carrier to stroll in there. Finally, moving on to the last game mode, and that is Bounty. Now, going over, quite honestly, one of my favorite maps being submitted in this entire contest by Justin Wu, and it's called Second Wind. Now, first things first, something that you guys got to know about me is I freaking love Bounty. I don't necessarily play on it a whole lot just because it's kind of inefficient trophies, because you have to play the whole 2 minutes no matter what in order to get your win or your loss. But one of my favorite maps inside of Bounty, as well as just Brawl Stars in general, is Groundhog Burrow. I really, really like the map a lot because it is so much different from the other ones. We have team comps that don't necessarily play on Bounty a whole lot there. You see your Mortises, you see your Dynamites running rampant. You also have areas on that map to play like Piper, Brox, and things along those lines. Sometimes I even see people play Bull successfully on that map. A very diverse map when it comes to the brawlers, and it reminds me a lot of that map, so maybe something close to that map so we can get other elements like that in rotation more often. And next, moving on to the final Bounty map winner, as well as the final winner in general of the contest, a map submitted by Osama Hassan, and it's called Hiding Race. Now on this map you have this diagonal middle lane where your long range brawlers are going to be pretty dang good on this map. Probably Piper, really, really good here, but also you have areas for aggro brawlers to pressure that middle lane, like a Bull in those middle patches of bushes, as well as with those walls. So I mean, you could go in with a Bull and then pressure the Piper out of her lane. Also you could be like a Dynamite on that map, camping behind the wall that's closer to your spawn in the middle, or even pushing down if you want to pressure the brawlers a little bit further, pushing them back into their spawn, gaining control of the map. Really good for the lobbers on this map, really good for the long range brawlers, as well as access to the aggressive speedy brawlers and units inside of Brawl Stars. So again, another really solid Bounty map. I could see this implemented inside of Brawl Stars and being very, very successful, and a very fun map in general. But yeah, I feel like a Bounty map like this really fits the meta of Bounty. The brawlers that are good on Bounty are going to be good on this map, as well as it has areas for brawlers to kind of be experimented on, like the aggros. Okay, so that concludes the official Ray 3v3 map making contest. Wow, what a ride. It was an absolute blast and honor to review all your guys' maps. There's so many talented people in the Brawl Stars community, people who have a really good feel for what will work in the meta. To everyone that won the map making contest, congratulations. It's a really, really big deal. You did really, really good job, and there were a lot of other maps that you beat out in order to win this contest, as well as everyone else that submitted a map. Thank you so much. It was a really good time, even if some of them were the maps that said please rate my map, which I saw dozens and dozens of. It was still fun to look through all of them, and it was an experience that I'm really, really happy I did, even though the workload was massive. It was too much work. I spent too much time on this stinking thing, but in my opinion, it was very, very worth it. So thank you guys for participating in this map contest. Be on the lookout for some of these maps that you saw in the video today to be implemented inside the next update. Hopefully, cross your fingers on that one. I would love to see some of your guys' that are viewed in my video inside the game. It's such a big honor. But yeah, guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to slap a like on it. Really appreciate that. Also, consider hitting that subscribe button down below, being a part of the Ray fam. Once again, thank you for all the submissions. It was an absolute blast. And with that being said, everyone, make sure to keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.